Namaskar to all. Greetings from Cosmic Yoga. Today we will be covering limbs of Ashtanga Yoga at a high level. It is one of the human bones that human beings are never satisfied with something finite. They are never satisfied with something limited. In Sanskrit, it is said, Nalpe sukhamasti bhuvaneva sukhamasti. That means human thirst cannot be satisfied with something limited. Human hunger cannot be satisfied with something finite. We can never be satisfied with limited things. They may give us pleasure for a while, but never long-lasting satisfaction. So, consciously or unconsciously, we all want bliss and we all are trying to achieve it. But how are we supposed to achieve it? The question arises. The only way is to think about it, and that means to think about the infinite, to expand one's awareness to infinity, to transcend the mind and enter the realm of cosmic, the endless and eternal. By ideating regularly on the thought of infinite happiness, one's mind will gradually expand. And if that ideation becomes constant enough, that expansion will continue until eventually the merger of one's limited sense of individual existence into the cosmic existence will transform one's experience of pleasure and pain into the constant experience of cosmic bliss. Just as a river attains its total freedom when it merges with the sea. As spirituality is coming in contact with the infinite, that is, the finite comes in contact with infinite, it is called yoga. Yoga is the unit moving in quest of infinite, and the finite moving towards the infinite in a mystic style. In Sanskrit, yoga means addition. For instance, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. But for a mystic, for an aspirant of mystic goal or the mystic desideratum, yoga is not addition. Here, yoga means unification. What sort of unification? It is just like sugar and water. Say there are 2 plus 2 mangoes. In the case of addition, there will be 1 mango, then 2, then 3, and then 4 mangoes. Every mango will maintain its individuality or its identity. The identity of the mangoes remain unchanged before and after the addition. But in case of unification, that is, in the example of sugar and water, the sugar doesn't maintain its identity because it becomes one with the water. That is unification. In the realm of mysticism, yoga means this type of unification. That is, it is unification like sugar and water and not simply addition like 2 plus 2. The systematic yogic lifestyle was started by Lord Shiva about 7,000 years ago, but with the time, original systemization of yoga was distorted, and some aspects were misunderstood or lost. An attempt was made by Patanjali about 2100 years ago to reclassify the techniques into what he called Ashtang, 8-limbed yoga. Swami Vivekananda more recently called it Raj Yoga, the yoga of kings. Raja means royal, implying that the yogi never feels subjugated by anyone. There is, however, a more extensive and comprehensive form of Ashtanga Yoga called Rajadhiraja Yoga, the yoga of the King of Kings. It was first named as such by Ashtavakra, a great saint who wrote the Ashtavakra Samhita over 2000 years ago. The present day form uses Patanjali's 8-limb structure as its basis, but includes techniques of original system which were lost or overlooked, clarifying and correcting misinterpretations, and with recent addition brings the whole practice into relevancy for modern life and human psychology. Now, this Rajadhiraj form is now the most complete, all-round, systematic and scientific process for development of the body, of the mind and of the soul, leading to the total experience of the infinite, what in yoga is called self-realization. It is a synthesis of processes for the evolution of mind towards the supreme spiritual flow, the essence being the practical and continual expansion of mind. Its goal is the all-round evolution of human beings, both individually and collectively. It is a total response to human longing and aspirations. Now we will see 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga and understand briefly about them. The 8 limbs are Yama, Niyama. The Yama and Niyama, they are called principles of morality. The third one is Asana, which is yogic postures. Fourth one is Pranayama, which is breath control. Fifth one is Pratyahar, which means withdrawal of mind. Sixth is Dharana, which means concentration. Next comes Dhyan, which is meditation. And the final one is Samadhi, which means suspension of mind in the goal. Now let's see each of them one by one. First one is Yama and second one is Niyama. They are called the principles of morality. They are the basis of a proper life system. But they are not the goal. They are instrumental in creating the frame of mind to perform the higher practices of concentration and meditation. Yama has in fact 5 parts. First one is ahimsa, which means non-harm in thought, word or action. The second one is satya, which means benevolent truthfulness. This is the use of mind in words in the spirit of welfare. Next comes asteya, which means non-stealing, not to take what belongs to others without permission. Fourth one is brahmacharya, which means universal thinking, to consider everything as an expression of the cosmic consciousness, always remain soaked in the ideation of the supreme consciousness. And the fifth one is aparigraha, which means simple living, not to accumulate more than what you need for a reasonable living standard. Niyama has also got 5 parts. The first part is Sauch, which means purity of mind and cleanliness of body. Second one is Santosh, which means mental ease and contentment. The third one is Tapa, which means social service, working for the welfare of others. This means to help others in need without expecting anything in return. Fourth one is Swadhyay, which means inspirational readings, to read uplifting books, understand their underlying meaning. The fifth one is Ishwar Pranidhan, to meditate on the cosmic consciousness. So we have covered so far 2 limbs, that is Yama and Niyama. Now we'll see the third limb of Ashtanga Yoga, which is Asana. In the West, we have come to equate the term yoga with yoga postures, but in fact, they form only a small, albeit important, part of the whole system. In Sanskrit, Yoga postures are called asanas. Asana means a posture giving physical comfort and mental composure. The fourth limb is pranayama. Pranayama is scientific technique used to control the respiration and hence the mind. This is important for meditation. This is a very close and direct relationship between breath and the mind. Mental flow depends on the flow of breath. If the respiration is fast, concentration will be next to impossible. Now we'll be touch basing the fifth limb of Ashtanga Yoga, which is Pratyahar. Pratyahar literally means to take back what has been given out. The mind projects outwards to the different objects of the world, so it means to withdraw the unsteady mind from those objects so that it may be directed internally for meditation. The sixth limb of Ashtanga Yoga is Dharana. Dharana means to uphold the mind at a particular point. That means concentration. To concentrate on one thing. It gives the ability to direct one's mind wherever wanted. The seventh limb is Dhyana. Dhyana means meditation in real sense of the term. Concentration is merely the initial stage or jumping off point of meditation, while dharana is the stabilization of mind at one point. Dhyan is a flow of mind, an uninterrupted flow towards the one's object of ideation, just as oil flows continuously in one unbroken flow. And the last limb of Ashtanga Yoga is Samadhi. Samadhi is not a practice in itself. Rather, it is the result of all the previous practices. Samadhi literally means sameness, absorption or oneness with the goal. There are many possible goals, physical, psychic or spiritual, but Rajadhiraja Yoga recognizes only spiritual goal and hence only spiritual samadhi, that is, merger in the cosmic entity. So that's all we have for today. We have covered the basic of Ashtanga Yoga. We'll be meeting for next session soon. Thank you. Thank you so much.